Welcome back to the vlog, and welcome here to Hoskins, Papua New Guinea. If you're the first time viewer here, my name is Ryan. We're heading out on a 29-minute flight that way out to Lamagai, a really cool little jungle airstrip that's just tucked down tight into the jungle. So let's go ahead and get started. It is 8:37 in the morning. All right, low start. We're watching the NG come up over 14%. I introduced my fuel. And I watch my
TOS system test, okay.
Come back to the NG, make sure that it's coming up at a slow speed, past 35, and then make sure my ITT doesn't go into the yellow. Right, once it's coming down, turn everything off, generator on, spikes up, comes down, alternator on, and then the aux bus. Push our prop forward, turn our V2 track on. I've got 700 kgs worth of cargo I'm taking out there today. I don't have any passengers on board today. So I'm going to put in 1440 for my cargo weight. I got 700 pounds. And we're heading out to Lamagai today. I think today, because it is a nice day out, we're just going to go out there like 1,000 feet. Just because I think I've taken you guys out there before. And just for something different. We'll do a lower flight out there just so you guys can see. There's a bunch of palm oil plantations and stuff along the way. All stations, Hoskins, November Tango Zulu, taxiing runway 12 for departure. Outbound track will be 246. We'll be below 5,000. Orders be 5565, November Tango Zulu, taxi. Or wait for him to get back with us. Fuel cap sense selectors are good. Our controls, all free. TAWs will leave. Actually, we'll turn TAWs off for this one. That's our train awareness system. Make sure my radar is on standby, so the gimbals are warming up. It's not flopping around in there. Switches and instruments. Our all-up weight right now is 6810, so we're going to rotate at, let's say, 62 and 73 for our VREF if we had to come back in. Our trim we can go ahead and set up. If we're not airspeed alive by the 500, or basically 1,000-foot marker, which is 500 feet, then something's wrong and we'll abort on the runway after takeoff.
Mosby, Alpha November Oscar 1271.
We'll pitch for 85, consider EPL, consider feather. 80 full flaps, shut off, pull off, and shut off. Emergencies, masters, and crack my door.
Mosby, Alpha November Oscar, position Bina 40, maintaining 20,000, estimate Dagno on the hour.
All stations, Hoskins, 127.1, November Tango Zulu will be rolling runway 12 Hoskins for an outbound track 246.
Mosby, Alpha November Oscar, copy, Dagno 124.16622.
Ignition condition, flaps 20, fuel and harnesses is 32 degrees, so 1540 on the torque, 1590. So basically I'm at bypass, set it lower, it will go on top up to 1590 once I get moving. 1540, here we go. Lots of rudder pressure initially. Alright, there's airspeed is alive. We're looking for 62 knots for rotate. There's rotate. And initially I'll just pitch for 85 knots. The reason being I'm doing 85 knots is if I had an engine failure, that's going to be my best glide with 20 degrees of flaps low to the ground. If I'm going any slower than that, I can't get my nose over quick enough to get airspeed built up before I smack the ground. So that's why I do 85. All right, over 500 and over 85 knots, we'll go 10 degrees of flaps, start our right-hand turn out towards Lamagai. All right, over 90. We'll go 10 degrees. That chime was just letting me know I'm just 200 feet under 1,000 feet. So we'll just stay at 1,000 feet so you guys can see a little bit more of the cool terrain here in Papua New Guinea. We'll leave our engine in the bypass because we're kind of at a level where birds might still be, we'll turn off our landing light once we get out of here, but we can turn off our igniters for now. And because we're below 5,000 feet, we're just going to limit ourselves to our fuel flow. So you can see my fuel flow is dropping down. We'll drop that down to 320, and then whatever our torque is or ITT, then we'll just leave it at that. There's 1,000 feet and 60 feet. I'll go ahead and level off here. Moresby 5565, November Tango Zulu, departure.
November Tango Zulu, Moresby, go ahead.
November Tango Zulu departed Hoskins for Lamagai, 1 POB. Departed time 45, tracking 246. On climb below amended 5,000, estimating Lamagai time 14.
November Tango Zulu, copy departure. Amended 8,000, so reported traffic, just confirm estimate Lamagai.
Estimate Lamagai time 14 next hour, and below 5,000, November Tango Zulu.
November Tango Zulu, Moresby, copy departure. Call again, Secretary Lamagai.
November Tango Zulu. Alright, so you guys can see these palm oil plantations here, and they just go and go and go all the way along this peninsula out here and even further on out. So you'll be seeing a lot of those on the way out here. This boat right here down below me, they get this wood out from here, and it's usually Quila, which is a really, really dense wood, a really pretty wood, but super, super heavy. I mean, it is really heavy. Alright, so I just saw that this was flipped down right here. That was just getting a hold of Moresby, so I can flip that up. If you guys are interested in getting one of these for your own home flight simulator, or if you're a pilot, I've got them for turbine airplanes, as well as piston airplanes. So the first version is just going to be basically, you can use, like the one for the piston, you can use from a 152 all the way up to like a multi-engine piston, like a Cessna 421 or something like that. So it has a couple extra items that you might not need in a 152, but it also will allow you to grow into different airplanes. And I'm having some other ones coming out in the future. If people are really actually interested in these things, that will be more specific for like a 152, or that you could use basically in like a non-complex airplane, or a complex airplane, or a turbine aircraft. So let me know if you guys are interested in something like that. The next ones will actually be backlit, so you can use them at night and all the words will light up. So I think that's pretty cool. You can check them out on my website if you guys are interested in seeing more information about these. You can see I've got my fuel flow really close to 320. It kind of just bounces around a little bit, but my torque is only at 1,040. So typically I would fly around at 1,250, but it looks like this little hill right here, we're just gonna have to either go around it, or we're gonna have to go over. Actually, let's just go around it, because there's this town of Kembe up here coming up, and I was just gonna fly next to that so you guys can see that. I'm sure that there's some people out there that have been over here and that would like to see it from the air. Our runway today is 04, so I hit my OBS, turned it to runway 040. It's that nice line right there, as you can see. And this one particularly, I use it a lot because it's really deep down into the jungle. Basically, when you're a mile away from it, like, you just don't even see it. It's just tucked down in there. So I'll basically fly overhead, get perpendicular to it. I think it's just right over top of this hill out here. And that way I don't have to be like looking at the airstrip at all times to make sure I'm like flying parallel with it. Our selectors and brakes are good. Our TAWS is turned off. Our VREF is adjusted by our weight. We're basically 6,700. So 72 knots for landing. Landing light inlet already done. We have to go around on this one. We gotta power up. And this is another thing I suggest doing too, is doing the motions for whatever you're talking about. It does help, or just touching the items. But I'm going to power up, 20 degrees of flaps, pitch for 73 knots, just go straight ahead or maneuvers required, and then reset my ITD to 740 for my climb out. All stations, Llama Guy, 127.1, Kodiak, November Tango Zulu, 10 miles to the east, 1,500, circuit time, 13, Llama Guy. There's a lot of low fog all over there towards Moke, which is just a few miles away, so it looks like the mountain on the other side of Llama Guy has actually stopped the fog, so maybe a little bit of scuzzy clouds in there, but I don't think it'd be too bad. Moresby 5565, November Tango Zulu.
November Tango Zulu, Moresby, go ahead.
November Tango Zulu in the circuit, Llama Guy, report after landing.
November Tango Zulu, confirm central south.
Negative, in the circuit, Llama Guy, report after landing.
Tango Zulu.
All stations, Llama Guy, November Tango Zulu in the circuit, Llama Guy. I think I got lucky on this one. I mean, the fog comes awfully, awfully close. We'll see how close it is, actually. It might even be over top of it. I can't even tell right now. It's just really, really close. Like right to the line. All right, autopilot's off. Prop and harness is done. We'll turn our little bug right here over to perpendicular. That way I can just quickly turn to the bug and know exactly where it is, or I can obviously just look at it, but whatever. 4 miles, oh buddy. Am I gonna get lucky or not? I can't even tell. Oh, I think I see it. I think it's good. By like a half a mile. All right, I'll start slowing down now. So I'm pulling my power to slow down. Go 10 degrees of flaps. I still don't even see it. This is why it's really nice to have a GPS. I see a clearing, but that's not the runway. I still got 2 miles to go. Oh, there it is, right there. Yeah. Like a half a mile is where the fog starts. Whew. That would have really stunk to have to come all the way out here just to head back, which has happened multiple times. Oh, that's awesome. All right, good deal. All right, we want 72 knots on final, 82 knots on base, 92 knots on downwind. Yeah, so you guys can see, here's the runway, there's the fog, a half a mile at most away, and all my approach is clear. But all over there, I mean, it's to the ground fog, and all behind me as well. So, that's awesome. Oh, it looks like they cut the approach this time. That's nice. Last time they hadn't. All right, got some people out there. Looks like they're cutting the grass, potentially. We'll go 20 degrees of flaps. Turn our base. Down to 82 knots. So I'm pulling my power to slow me down. And I'm just pitching to basically get to, well, 1,200 feet by the time I want to. So I'm already here, so I'm actually lower than I want to be. So I'm just going to maintain 1,200 feet, 82 knots. Turning base now, reducing my power. That'll help me slow on down. Actually, I just want to stay at 82 knots, I'm sorry. But I do want to go down, and I want to turn my final at right at 1,000 feet. Okay, so I'm at 82 knots. I'm going to start pulling my power out now. Turning my final full flaps. But overshoot.
500.
All right, still adjusting my power, bring me down. Now I'm at 72 knots right there. And you can kind of feel the airplane settling in like this, okay? All right, checklist is complete as far as we can go. And I'm just keeping my 72 knots, just ever so slight changes in the pitch. I'm a tiny, tiny bit low. I add a little bit of power, and I just pull up, because then my airspeed goes down. If I'm a tiny bit fast, I pull some power, so I can reduce my, or get a little bit more pitch as well. Run up on committed. Oh, so much nicer having all this stuff cut. Right, we're committed. Oh, a little slippery. Well, there you go, guys. It is a little bit slippery and muddy out here today. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed that. If you did, if you felt like you got something useful out of it, give this video a thumbs up and have a great day. Lots of kids out here today. Right, for shutdown, I'm going to turn off all this down here. I'm going to turn off all my lights. Turn off my, or leave my standby fuel pump on. Auxiliary off, generator off, alternator off. All the way back. Cut off and feather. And then I'm watching my NG, making sure it's coming down, make sure my ITT doesn't come back up. Once it's below 10, I turn off my auxiliary fuel pump, and then my ITT drops off, then I turn everything else off. All right, guys, have a great one.